I'm so excited to be starting this segment today. It's going to be a new segment that we're going to try to do every other Wednesday at the store. You've probably heard me say a million times that we have the most incredible customers. And I was trying to figure out how I've been trying for years actually to try to figure out how to have you guys meet each other. And so I thought, well, in this is a small thing that I can do to introduce you to some of the people who I get to meet at Sorry Not Sorry, and show you some of the amazing things that they're doing. So what I've noticed is that the people who love Sorry Not Sorry tend to be really interesting people. They are people who are, making their own rules, playing by their own rules, figuring out what they want the world to look like and participating in that. They're creative, they're interesting, they're friendly. I really wish that you could meet each other. So I'm going to start introducing you to each other, and we're going to be talking to some of the customers about how they don't play by the rules. And I think that's going to be a theme that we're going to be talking about a little bit more at Sorry Not Sorry, because I feel like the people who shop at Sorry Not Sorry are not people who are swayed by trends and fads. They decide what their rules are. They decide what they want to be and who they are as individuals. And then they share that and they choose clothing and make lifestyle choices or set goals based on that. And so now you guys can meet them. So today you're going to be meeting Mira and Shefali again. You probably know them from our Instagram. Anyways, Mira is asking how we do this. So I think what happens is I maybe add you. Let's see if that happens. Invite to join. Are you guys on James North? Did you? Do you see an invite? There! Hey,
Hi.
hi! So today, my guests, we thought we'd start safe with this new series, start safe and close to home. Oh, you're sideways now, guys.
We're figuring out our setup still.
Okay, okay.
We have a very professional setup going on.
Okay, so you leaned the phone up.
Here you go.
Okay. You see both faces? No. Oh no, now you're frozen. Oh wait, here. So while you guys play around with your phone over there, you again and explain, hi Cord, your daughter's on with me. I don't know if you guys can see her yet. So Mira and Shefali not only work here at Sorry Not Sorry, many of you will know that Mira is my youngest daughter, and Shefali has been with us for years, the universe aligning and bringing us together. And Shefali and Mira have, what they're doing is they are making their own rules. They made a decision about what they would like this neighborhood to be like, and then they took it on themselves to create I can say create content, but I feel like that's maybe a little generic, but more to create videos and reels and stories to share what our neighborhood is like here at James North. So I'm going to hand it over to you two ladies. Now, I know the account was already created before you guys took it over, but due to all the crazy that's been happening, the people who were running it didn't have time to really to make it what it could be. So can you share with me how you created your own set of rules and goals and decided what you wanted to do with the On James North Instagram account?
Yeah, so I think it really started, I'm very online, I think we both are, and we just saw that there were so many fun ways that people were now highlighting kind of the small aspects of the community that you'd only really get to experience by being part of that community. So like showing off the inside of stores, stopping people on the street to be like, your fashion is so funky, where did you get it? Like help us figure out more about the style and the vibe of the community. And I think because of that, we're just like, there's so much room to kind of grow. And I think a lot of it started out, especially because I've like recently moved to Hamilton,
Mhm.
and I was really nervous to get out there.
Yeah.
Even to like stop into new stores and stuff. I was like, oh, I've never been. I don't know the vibe. This is kind of awkward. Like, it was. I knew that I was like in my head about it, but I was still really nervous. And so I thought that this would be something that was really helpful because you get to go in from the safety of your phone and kind of
Oh, there we go. You froze. Okay. You get to go in. Yeah.
get to go in from the safety of just being on your phone, but you get to get that experience of figuring out a place, learning the vibe, knowing some of the people so that when you go in there next time, it's less daunting and it feels like you're already part of that community once you're at the community.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm going to interrupt. I'm just going to summarize. So what you're saying, Mira, is that you recognized that there was a gap in, you know, what you wanted to have, which was to feel part of a community, and where you were. And you came up with this plan with Shefali's help, the two of you together, to introduce yourselves to the community and to introduce the community to everybody else. Shefali, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, like, I moved to Hamilton last year, and there is this kind of preconceived notion in Hamilton that it is a certain way. It's like run down. There is like kind of almost this like rigidness or this like ruggedness to it, and it's very unapproachable. And like when I moved to Hamilton, I didn't find that that was the case at all. Actually, I think people don't recognize or see the very like local community aspect that we have in Hamilton, and that needed to be highlighted, especially on a street like on James North. It's really unique because everybody on the street knows each other in some way, and also they're very committed to the same idea, which is community-based work, as well as showing off creatives within the spaces that they have. It's very focused on showcasing how different Hamilton is, specifically on James North, and we didn't really see that happening on the Instagram previously. So what we did is we created this concept, which a lot of other Instagrams are doing, to highlight really big, well-known cities like New York, as well as LA.
Toronto too.
Yeah,
really
there's
big.
a lot. There are people going around and asking like, oh, what do you love about Toronto? What do you love about New York? How long have you been here? What's your favorite thing about this place? What's your favorite place to eat? So we thought, why not do the same like here, honestly?
Yeah.
Just because like the earliest record of like us seeing something like that online is, for example, somebody as famous as like the Try Guys. They used to go around and do interviews with a bunch of people.
Oh, that's right. A long time ago. Yeah.
And that was BuzzFeed.
And yeah, there's also like a lot of celebrity shows like that.
Yeah.
Like there's been Billy on the Street with Billy Eichner, I believe is his name. And it was like, if you answer this question as fast as you can, you get $1. Like it was just something like that. But then people started really like learning new things about the neighborhood and the community. And I think kind of one of the biggest goals for both of us was just that James Street North is like not just, it's a community, but it is a community made up of so many parts. It's not just an art community. It's not just a bakery, foodie community. There's so many cultures, there's so much history and so many of these buildings on James Street North, and the businesses and their stories. There's just it all feels so personal. And like when you're walking around the street and you're saying hi to everyone, it feels like you're saying hi to a friend.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to highlight.
It really does have that vibe. And I think that you guys have captured it so well in the content you've created already. So how many reels have you done so far?
I think
we've posted, I think 3. I just posted another one right now. Go check it out, guys.
I will share it right after I share this. I'll share the link to the On James North. Everybody should be following the On James North account. There's just so much going on in this part of Hamilton, and people don't know. Okay. So how many reels have you done so far?
So we've posted 3, but we filmed content for about like 20, honestly. So what we've done is we've done 2 series. One is, One is the What's on James North. It's kind of like the day-to-day what business looks like on James North, whether that be like a cafe or a clothing business or like a breakfast spot. We're still trying to get on our schedule to do that, or even like daily events where we check out local galleries or local like crawls or fairs happening. What we try to do, whether through reels or through stories now, just so that it's on the go, we kind of try to highlight different spaces to check out as well as what's going on the street. So a lot of it is very much us trying to be there every day and see like what's going on. The greatest benefit is that Mira lives on the street. So.
Yeah. So
And
like
you work on the street, you both do, so you're seeing things all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, the other day I was just walking on the street, and then that's when I came across the Quirky Art Fair at the
it's the art gallery on Cannon and James. It's right
Oh,
at that.
yeah.
And so that was like so cool, and I'd never seen something like that. I went, one of my favorite artists were there. Like, it was just so fun, and there's so many fun things like that always happening on the street. And I just felt like there was not a way that people really knew about it as much, because you really had to, like, I found before you had to find on James North.
You had to seek it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we want to find you.
You guys did one of your reels on a bar kind of eatery.
Oh, we went to Far Side, yeah.
It was it the Far Side or the Brain? Which was
So it was Far Side first.
The Far Side.
That same night though, yeah.
So I've been on this street for years, and I've walked past those two places and thought, I'm a little scared to go in. I don't know what I'm going to find there. And now that you guys have gone in and shown me, I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? That seemed like a really cool and interesting place.
Oh,
and I don't know that I would have had the courage, I guess. Like, it felt like a space that maybe wasn't right for me. But then I saw you guys in it. I'm like, oh yeah, this would be so much fun. So which are the places specifically, which businesses have you covered in your reels so far, and what plans do you have moving forward?
So we have so many plans, and although we don't have many reels out, so we've done Gate of India.
That's a recent one that we filmed.
We've filmed Pretty Grit. We filmed Snafu is one of the recent episodes we released.
Yep, and we just posted about Snafu again, just to show some styling, just because a lot of people love the fashion on the street as well. And we find that a lot of the fashion on the street comes from how good the stores are here in curating that fashion.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things we wanted to highlight with On James North. But when it comes to like businesses, I think we've gone to over 6 or 7 businesses right now, and that we've like filmed and highlighted them. Yeah.
And like,
okay. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we were first kind of starting out, since it was a daring task on our end too. We were starting out with places that we knew, we felt comfortable with, but we are slowly, like, one of our main goals is that we don't want there to be, we want all of James Street North to be seen as James Street North, because it stretches pretty far.
Yeah.
There's so many great businesses the further you go. And we really want to highlight those too. And so it's just been like really fun. And honestly, like, one of the main things about this, which is why I think it's been so successful so far, is that it's not just for you guys, it's also for us too. Like, we were both stuff, like, and just in the way that when you're saying, like, it felt daring to go in to Far Side alone. Yeah. For me, I too felt it was really daring, but it made it easier because I'm like, I'm going in to show people what it's like. I'm going to show my friends this new place. And so it becomes less daring because I feel like I'm bringing you guys there. Yeah. And so
alcohol also makes things a lot easier.
The alcohol helped a little too.
Yes, the interviews went a lot smoother that time too.
Yeah.
Because we saw the point. We didn't see the point in not going to a bar and not trying out at least one drink. So
of course. Yeah. I mean, that would be like going to a clothing store and not trying anything on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
You don't have to answer with just one answer, and you can say, I don't know yet. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Mira, favorite place to get a caffeinated beverage?
Ooh, okay. This is tricky because it depends on the drink.
Okay.
If I'm doing a nice coffee, an iced coffee, I'm hitting up Mulberry. If I want a chai latte, I'm hitting up St. James. And
Okay.
if I want a delicious masala chai, I'm hitting up Gate of India.
Okay, now we know. And no boba type drinks in there? Does that count as like
Oh,
tea?
Gomcha.
Gumcha. You gotta love the bubble tea.
All right. Shefali, favorite dessert on the street?
Honestly, Ola's.
Oh,
Ola's, you get a cheesecake for $2.50. I get that with a little latte for $2.50. That's just a straight $5 cash.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I have that as my snack all the time at work.
I had a cannoli today at work, and I was able to power through.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
so one of my favorite desserts on the street is it's at the Mulberry, and I think it's a lemon cranberry tart, or maybe it's just.
Oh, yeah.
It is so ridiculously good. Food should not be allowed to be that good because then you're not eating it to fill yourself up. You're eating it because it's the most incredible thing you've tasted. Okay. Favorite place to get a sandwich, Mira? So far.
Sandwich so far. Ooh, I have to say,
I haven't started.
I still have to explore more because I know that there are so many great sandwich places out there. Currently, I always go for that Mulberry for their sandwiches.
Yeah.
I have never had a disappointing sandwich there, and their chef is so sweet, and it's so nice. And I get it. It's like I'm getting a gourmet sandwich. It's delicious. Everything's fresh. I leave the meal feeling good. It's just
nice. Your favorite sandwich on the street?
It's charred, not Shefali. It's charred.
Charred does make an amazing
Chard
chicken.
makes an amazing sandwich.
Oh, and you had the beef brisket there too, right?
Yes, that brisket sandwich low-key changed my life, honestly. That was so good.
Yeah, so I took some home for my husband, and he loved it as well. I was thinking that one of my favorite sandwiches on the street would be from Oko Bakery. So the bagels.
That's such a good one, Priya. Oh my God.
Amazing bagels there. Okay. Let's see. Favorite grocery type store, Mira?
Grocery type store. So I hit up some of the fish markets that are on James Street North. I mostly go for my Italian food needs.
Okay.
But I have to definitely check it out. I have my eyes set on the farmers market. There's an anniversary coming up there too, so that's really exciting.
That's happening really
85th anniversary.
Which is insane. So we're gonna be checking that out in the future, and I'm excited to check that out myself. Maybe find some vendors that I will be going to for the future. So.
Nice. And what about you, Shefali? What's your favorite grocery type store on the street?
So definitely the fish market, but then another good favorite of mine is Lola Groceries.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Lola too, yeah.
Just because like I get all of my dried chili from there, and then I also get hibiscus flower from there that I use to make tea. So nice. Like I really recommend. Yeah, they have a lot of dried stuff.
Ooh, I love a dried hibiscus.
Yeah, and I've seen customers come in with guacamole now. The people who
They make that
almost
too.
right across the street from us. It's the same people who own Mesa, that Mexican restaurant that's so popular. So a lot of their ingredients they sell right next door at Lola's.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
What's crazy is that like the woman who owns both of them, she's a single mother. She was able to do both of those businesses herself and raise children at the same time. So shout out to her. She's an incredible woman.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you guys are taking time out of your personal lives to go out and share these stories of the people on James Street North. Okay, so everybody, you need to follow on James North, the Instagram account, to see more of what's going on. There's all the different restaurants and services and shops are all listed there. There's also an On James North website. Yes. So if you're planning on coming to the neighborhood and you want just a quick directory of what you can find here, you can definitely go to On James North. And what else was I going to say? Right, so on James North, oh wait, so before we wrap this up, one of the themes that I was saying that people who wear Sorry Not Sorry seem to be people who set goals and make their own rules, and I wanted to talk to each of you because you both have such distinct fashion sense. What are some of the fashion rules that you feel comfortable breaking, and how does Sorry Not Sorry fit into your wardrobe? Mira, I'm going to start with you, and then we're going to do Shefali, and then that's
Yeah, I have been thinking about this a lot lately. And if you ask my friends, they point this out all the time too. That one of the biggest things that I do is I throw textures to the wind, out the window, and I mix anything that I want. So one of my big things, like I have some really funky pants. I have corduroy, I have suede, I have velvet. They're all in these bright colors. I love pairing those with the silks. I love pairing it with knit. I love pairing it with anything that you're like, hey man, that is too many textures. No such thing. I'll do corduroy pants, I'll do a knitted shirt, and then I'll do a fur coat. Like it's just so completely different. But what I really like about it is that it makes me feel like I'm having fun. Like I'm just playing dress up at home, and I want to dazzle myself. And I also do a lot of really big jewelry. I'm actually wearing some really, really cute needlepoint and
yeah, they're so beautiful.
So it's Beating Stardust. We carry them at Sorry Not Sorry now.
Yeah. So yeah, that those of you who know Alex, who works with us, she makes beaded earrings, and we started selling them online and at the store. And she made that pair specifically for Mira.
Yes, she did.
So I absolutely love them. I've been wearing them all day, and they're so perfect. I find that another thing I've been doing that really breaks those fashion rules is I do the funkiest jewelry. And I find that Sorry Not Sorry really gives me the opportunity to do that because we have such funky patterns. Like
we do.
I don't wear a lot of orange, but for some reason it's one of the main colors I buy from Sorry Not Sorry. And it's unlocked so many things for me to do with my jewelry. And it's really fun because there's so many colors in one piece. So I have orange earrings, I have a purple necklace, I do really funky makeup to pull colors from the pieces. It's just really fun because I choose a piece and then I get to create art around it, and I'm the art. So like
you are the artist and the art. That's so true. And that's how I feel in my Sorry Not Sorry as well. This piece, which was on a mannequin, I just pulled it off so I could be this person for a little while. So Shefali, tell me about your take on fashion and about rules in fashion and about how Sorry Not Sorry fits into that.
Great question, Priya. Honestly, I believe that fashion should have no rules if you're making the rules based on judgment, as well as to kind of alienate or like kind of push away people. Just because the fashion industry itself, especially when you get to higher levels of fashion, is extremely elitist. They stick to the people that they know and that they surround themselves with, and it's what's comfortable. And I don't believe that anything in life should be just comfortable. I think you should always be able to go outside of the box.
Right.
So a lot of the
not doing what they're doing, but doing what you want to do.
Exactly. And that's the whole point, I think. Like fashion itself, especially through history, has been something that has been an image or a representation of people's heritage, as well as how they feel on the inside out. It's a form of art, it's an expression. And I think that that should be what makes you want to everyday dress yourself, just because with the society and the world we live in, it's so pushed to just kind of fit this narrative, fit this look, fit this ideal. And I don't believe any of us will ever be happy if we just follow somebody else.
Well, you see that happening a lot more even in how people identify themselves. It used to be that there were two identifications, male and female, and that was it. And now we're starting to see that there are just so many possibilities that have been excluded in the name of trying to keep everybody rigidly defined. And that seems to be what you're talking about in fashion, that there doesn't have to be a rigid definition, that you just, find what speaks to you and feel comfortable being your own person. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also like while I was in school, I always really wanted to study this because I thought that it was such an interesting change. But when the pandemic hit, so many people weren't thinking about outside perspectives. They were thinking about their own perspectives.
The inside,
And from that moment on, we've been seeing so much fashion that is so different from trends because people are now dressing for their perspective and not others.
That's right.
And obviously there is that feeling of I want to stunt on them. I want to show them that I look so good today, But it's just really, really fun to see that everyone is slowly kind of breaking those bonds of what fashion is supposed to be. And it's changing, and people will be dressing like they're in the 40s every single day. And they're like, this is the style that brings me joy. And I just really like it. It's kind of like getting an introduction to someone without an introduction.
Yeah, because of their choices that reflect who they are. And, you know, as I'm sitting here, I'm just astounded by to you, both of you young women, because I certainly didn't have the confidence at your age to say, you know what, this is what feels right to me. And this is how I'm just going to do what feels right to me. And that's what you're doing with your fashion. And you're also doing it with On James North. You're like, it feels right to me that people should know about this neighborhood. So how am I going to make that happen?
Exactly.
And the kind of initiative that it takes, and looking at the world as a place full of possibilities instead of a place that's limiting. That seems to be how you guys see the world in terms of what you're capable of with On James North and what you're doing with fashion.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're right.
just a matter of getting there.
Oh, lost for a second. Here we go. So,
oh, I was just saying everything's possible. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get there.
Yeah.
Faith in yourself.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Yes, that's right. Not being, and I feel like now more than ever, there are people holding space for differences and for expression of self. And I think that Sorry Not Sorry fits into that as well. That, you know, I was joking around earlier that you're not a hot dog, so why are you wearing mustard? I don't know. I said it to somebody.
That's true.
And I was thinking that, you know, what happens out there in the world is that all the fashion industry people say, well, we all have to invest in a color for this season. And because of all the costs associated with producing, blah, 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 I think this season we're going to go with cranberry and mustard. And then everybody has to wear cranberry and mustard because a bunch of people who have power have decided that it's the most economic way for them to make more money is to tell us what colors to wear. And what I love about Sorry Not Sorry is that we have every single color. If your favorite color is magenta mixed with teal, we probably have that.
Yeah, literally every color known to man, guys. Like man, woman, everybody, alien even. Like we have every single color.
We have the colors so that your clothes are actually reflecting what you want instead of you cooperating with somebody else so that they can make more money by telling you what to do.
Exactly. And also I think one of the best things about these changing nature in fashion and how people are now starting to listen to their own voice rather than the voice that they see in every magazine is that it's also becoming a lot more sustainability focused. Like even with Sorry Not Sorry, but even with thrifting and old styles are coming back, so they're on Depop, where people aren't throwing out their clothing because it's not in anymore. They're keeping it and they're like, I'm gonna find a new way to wear this, or this brings me joy, I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. And so because of that, there's this whole sustainability element to it that's being brought back.
Yeah, like especially with the resurgence during the pandemic of like different trends from like the 70s, the 80s, the 60s coming back, like especially now, like when you look at how mini skirts are really in, for example, and that's like a very 60s thing.
Or I'm rocking bell bottoms again.
Yeah, like the 70s are coming back that way, or how like there has now been a real big interest in South Asian influenced clothing as well as patterns and styles. That was something that emerged from the 70s as well. So we'll see these trends happening more and more, and they're happening faster and faster due to social media like TikTok. But it's become to a point where now people are like, it's happening so fast, what's the point in trying to follow them? Just follow what you like. If you like a lot of things, do a lot of things. If you don't, then just follow one thing.
That's so true. Yeah, the speed that fashion, that hold fast fashion, that there was a time when in theory you could keep up because there would maybe be, you know, 1 or 2 collections a year and you'd be like, you know what, I'm going to buy something from the spring collection, and then that was your one piece. But with fast fashion and there being a new collection every week, it's impossible to keep up. Like it really made it so ridiculous that you kind of got slapped in the face with the reality of it's impossible. The center will not hold when we continue at this pace. Nobody can keep up.
Oh, and even like high-end fashion, like runways and fashion weeks, so many designers, they're not trying to go away from that and be like, oh, we're gonna still live it ourselves and produce high quality products and still showcase that on the runway. They're actually following that, lowering the quality of their products, and then putting out like 6 runways in a season, because they're like, we need to make sure that people listen to us and know about us and this and that. And it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a wasteful practice, and the world is like dying. Like, we can't do that.
And like, it's so strange because like, if they're rushing to get out all of these things so that we listen to them, but in doing so, what was once art is no longer art.
No, it's not.
The art aspect of the fashion is being lost, and so many people are talking about that. They're like, you're putting this out to put it out, but where's the meaning? There were messages, there are intentions, there are reasons. This is just, don't forget my name is here.
Oh,
and so
that's cringy, isn't it?
Yeah, and so it is really nice seeing so many people slowly moving away from that and knowing that it's because they're not now following some other big outside voice. They're starting to follow what they want. And so it's just such a positive thing to see.
Yes, that's such a great way to put it, that people are starting to find and follow their own voices. And I'm hoping that Sorry Not Sorry is a part of that, just because we're not hurting the environment with the clothing that we create, and there's just so much choice. And it lets you follow your voice when your body changes. So, which kind of, I realized today when I was trying on earlier the Bryn Walker pieces that I had from previous years, that my body size has changed, but I've been wearing so much Sorry Not Sorry that I never noticed, because everything just keeps fitting, right? So I had no idea, which is how it should be.
I'll take your Bryn Walker.
Notice how I just let that go, right? Because I am not ready to part with it. We'll have to see. So we've just come on to about half an hour of this, but thank you so much for joining and for sharing how you guys make your own rules and play by your own rules and bring that to the choices you make and the goals you set and the clothing you wear. And thank you so much, both of you, for joining me on this inaugural episode of
Thank you for having us. So fun.
I think you might be able to share this on James North as well. So hopefully
yes, we will be able to. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you miss it on Sorry Not Sorry, you can also see it on James North.
Okay, guys. Thank you both so much. Have a lovely evening, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.